Hey there, beautiful people. Thank you for joining and happy, thankful Thursday. I hope that your day has brought you nothing but reasons to smile. And if it hasn't, you know how it goes. By the time we're done here today, you will have either laughed with me or at me. Either way, it's fine though, because you deserve it. So I'm good with it. Tonight, as I had posted a little bit ago, we were going to talk about who manages your plate. And that's an interesting topic because I'm sure a lot of you were probably assuming I was talking about food and your plates. And it's not really about your intake as much as it is about what you're putting up with. And so we will be talking about that. I'll give a few minutes to let people get on, and then we can go ahead and we can go from there. Here comes my one. Like I said, one is good enough for me. If I've got one on, I will get to going. So I hope that your week so far has been really good. I'm going to first start out like I always do. You guys see I'm wearing my own shirt today. Yes, indeed. I am repping me today. That's always a fun thing to do. So I will read first my little out of my book Inward that I love this book. It's for those of you who don't want to read long books. This is very, as you could tell by the pages, there's like a glare. Sorry about that. There's not a whole lot to read on each page, so you can really tell somebody like, look, I read a 200-page book. And if you were to put all the pages together, it would probably be about 30 words of print. But you could still brag that you read 200 pages. So anyway, it's a great book. I think you should read it. So it says, strength. What do you mean by strength? What I mean is, how firm is your inner space? How honestly can you observe without judgment? How limitless is your love for yourself and all beings? And how willing are you to change yourself for the better? That was nice. I like the way that sounds. I'll say it just one more time. Hi, Gilbert. Hi, Novelli. No, Noelvi. Sorry. It says, strength. What do you mean by strength? What I mean is, how firm is your inner peace? How honestly can you observe without judgment? How limitless is your love for yourself and all beings? How willing are you to change yourself for the better? Pretty interesting question. Hey, James, how are you? Hi, Denise, how are you? Happy Thankful Thursday. You guys, you can feel free to tell me what you're thankful for. I will give you, I will tell you that every day and every night I do a gratitude times 10. That means that I think of 10 things that I'm really, really grateful for. And trust me, 10 isn't because it's hard to do. 10 is just because I would be there all day saying things that I was grateful for, and I would never get out of, my meditation spot. I would be there going, I'm thankful for this, and I'm thankful for this, and I'm thankful for this. I'd be there all day. So it's really good to start your day in gratitude. If you haven't picked up that practice, you should probably do it. Hi, Buster. How are you? Hey, Carrie. Hey, everybody. So that was my read. And okay, so I wanted to ask you guys. So the whole mask thing, right? I will say I honestly haven't had to go out that much, but when I do, I wanted to share my frustrations with wearing the mask. And I'm only saying this because, of course, yes, we should wear them. And, I get that. This is not about should or shouldn't, but I'm here to tell you my own personal challenges with the mask. So they make my nose itch. Yes, Denise, grateful for life. I like that. They make my nose itch. I can put those things on and in like seconds, I'm like, and I don't know if it's because, it's just, but here's the greatest one. Hi, Tony. The greatest one was, so man, I'm gonna lose some fans here. I know I'm gonna lose some fans here. So in the morning, one of my favorite things to eat is I'll have toast, and then I will have avocado, and I will have tomato, and I will have onion, right? And so though it tastes yummy and it just is good for you, when you go from eating that in a hurry to running out to the car to go somewhere, and you go to put your mask on before you get in the store or whatever, your breath kind of stinks after having avocado, tomato, and onions. So you're sitting here and you're breathing and you're like, God, what is that smell? Oh, it's what I ate. So anyway, that was just a funny moment with myself today. I wanted to share. Hi, Tony. Hi, Tyson. Hi, Glenn. I wanted to share that because if you don't find ways to laugh at your life experiences, it's a long life that's not always fun. But when you can learn to laugh at it, it's very light and it feels very good. So that was my experience with my avocado toast mask morning. And so if you are wearing your mask and you have to go out and you wear your mask, make sure that you are aware of what you ate before you put it on and smell your breath, okay? So make sure you do that. Hi, Timmy. So tonight what I wanted to talk to you about was who manages your plate. So I'm going to read a little bit to you about where I'm going with that. Again, it's another rough draft section in my book, but I'll keep it short, and then I'm going to tell you how to manage your plate. I'm not talking about diet here. Well, I guess it is a diet if you looked at it that way, but I'm not talking about like, you know, how many ounces of meat and how many ounces of whatever. I'm not talking about that. It's really a subject matter here. Hi, Freddie. So who manages your plate and what in the heck am I talking about? You know, I get exciting. What are we, we're going to talk about learning to say no, learning to put yourself first, learning to stop feeling guilty about setting boundaries, and why these are even important. Sounds pretty good to me. Hi, James. Hi, Phil. Women, I have to say this. I do believe that we are the worst when it comes to setting boundaries, when it comes to helping people. It's almost like we're hardwired to overgive. Like we don't know how to stop helping sometimes. And so now men, I do believe that you are hardwired to ignore how you truly feel at times. Okay, stop throwing tomatoes. I feel it. But I really do think that men don't like, and this is a combination of me working with people for close to 15 to 16 years and being in the medical field for 10 years and doing what I do now with people. There's a lot of people experience here. So I'm telling you, I think that men have a tendency to ignore how they really feel at times, and it festers and it builds up, and they kind of hide away with it. Now, it's important you recognize this and learn to say no when it's truly something that you can't do or that you don't want to do. Now, some people, they get stuck in that. They're like, well, I mean, I can do it, but I really don't want to do what this person asked me. And I'm here to tell you, if you don't want to do something, you shouldn't do it. And there's more reasons than you actually think about. One of those is because you already have a negative attitude toward it. You already have negative energy towards it. So now you're going to put your state in a sense of negativity while you're trying to help somebody. So as much as you think you're doing something positive, you're trying to get positive and negative to work together for you. Not really going to work. Right, Doug? You have to do that. Well, you feel that you have to do that. And so you're actually working against yourself. You know, this is key because people have actually came to me and said, you know, I didn't really want to do it, but I felt like I had to do it. And I don't know if they're looking for my sympathy there because I'm telling them, well, no, you matter. Like you are the one who can say no. Like you have to really be at the point where you can do that. And yes, Carrie, yes. And so the thing is, when it comes to people taking from a person, no matter if it's time, money, food, or anything for that matter, some people are raised on taking. There are some people around you who literally, they've been brought up just, you know, picking off other people's plates. They literally have. That's just how they get along. They survive by it. And all they do is keep taking, and ironically, people keep giving. And so you can't expect people to know when to stop taking, but you are the one who has to be responsible to learn to stop giving. And this means everything: your time, your finances, your resources. I mean, there's a limit. There's a limit when it comes to people. You do have to save a little bit of yourself for yourself. I'm hoping that if you followed me for a while now, you'll understand I'm really big about your best self is the self that you're here to do, is the self that you're here to be. And the only way to get that is if you do save some of you for yourself, not last but first. And we'll get into that. This goes back to what I said about having non-negotiable items in your life. Things that you must do to serve yourself before you serve anyone else's plate. You have to experience yourself at a balanced, wholesome place before you can truly appreciate what I'm trying to tell you here. And this is the truth. You can sit here and be like, Amy, I have no clue what you're talking about. If you have truly sensed or felt or been in a complete, total, wholesome, loving, 100% you, that true vibe, that real, that person that is just like loving life on the inside, when you get there, you become a little bit more okay, you know what? I think you're right. I don't want people, I need to do boundaries. I need to do this. I need to do that. Because you learn to appreciate how good wholehearted self feels. Now, here's the thing. You can't just act like you don't matter. I want you to do this for me. Imagine yourself as a beautiful china plate, okay? Like a little designer plate. It don't have to be little. Guys, if you want to be a big plate, you can be a big plate. Just kidding. But with the china plate, imagine the gold. Imagine the uniqueness. There's only one type of design in this particular set. You are the plate. You are the plate. Now I want you to imagine the worth of that plate and how it gets set up and how it's there for everybody to see and very few to use. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes in, yanks it down, tosses it in the sink. It cracks. It's got food on it. They didn't rinse it off. And then over time, that plate just gets buried under stuff. And then the food starts to get mold. And then the whole value and worth of that plate is gone. That's you. That's you every time you keep on throwing yourself in the sink, getting under everything else that's going on, and you lose the focus of who you are, and you start taking paper plates. I just use paper plate today. The plates are dirty. I'll just be a paper plate. You're not a paper plate, people. You're china, okay? Or whatever type of plate you want. But the value is there, and you have to own that. That's how precious you are and how you just keep so easily throwing it in the sink, okay? You have to believe that, and I have learned that people and situations always find a solution. People will find a solution and things will work out with or without your help. And you have to believe that. It works out. Generally, the best lessons learned for a person are times when they went to battle on their own. We tend to get in the way of these moments for people when we get busy providing them all the answers. This is why you shouldn't feel guilty saying no. And you saying no, another way will show up for a person or a situation. And if you fully believe all things work out for the greater good, which we do, right? I mean, how can we get up every day and just be optimistic if we don't feel that everything in our life is really truly working out for the greater good? That we're here for a bigger purpose. If we don't believe in that, that's rough. So if you believe that all things are working out for the greater good, then you will understand it'll work out for them too. So I ask you again, who's managing your plate? Anybody? What are you putting on it? Are you just allowing people to throw their own problems on it? Are you allowing others to pick off what they want and leave you with the scraps? Are you avoiding yourself because you don't want to look at the damage that time has done to you while you've been putting yourself to the side? Who's managing your plate? If it hasn't been you, I hope that you will decide to take your power back. I want you to feel like the finest plate in the collection. I want you to be touched by only the gentlest of hands. I want you to be served at the finest of tables. I want you to shine when you are present. I want you to be accompanied by the most deserving and only them. I want you to feel part of something great. I want you to remember you every single step of the way. You are the most unique plate in the cupboard. All right, so that's a little snippet from the book. I hope that you guys took that to heart. Hi, Angela. Hi, John. Hi, Tyrone. So I ask you again, who is managing your plate? Who owns it? Is it you? You guys, I will say that one of the hardest things that I have had to learn in my own life, and for me, it was with my young adult children. I wanted to, I feel you, Doug. I feel you. Yes. So for me, it was my adult kids, coming from my background and not really having, not having parents and then their father not being involved. It was really just me and them, because I'm meeting my family as I grow. I'm starting to meet family members and stuff, but primarily with them growing up, it was pretty much just us. So there was this tight thing that was like, I had to make sure that they were okay because I had no extension to me. They had no extension to them. They were my extension. So I wanted to keep on making sure that they had a better chance, because I was in my 20s with 3 kids, and here they are in their 20s with no kids. So I will say that, generationally, everything is working itself out. But there were times I kept on feeling like I had to correct their problems. I had to keep on making sure that that they had this or that they had that, or that they wouldn't have to learn this the hard way or struggle with this. And when you think about it, how did you learn what you learned? Generally because you had to go through it. You had to deal with that battle many times alone. But you just have to understand that everything is working out for everyone, including whoever it is that's always asking you for help, or whoever it is that may need something. If it's not something you can do, if it's something that stresses you out, if it's something that you really don't like doing, you've got to be in charge of saying no. You have to be okay setting those boundaries. As much as I wanted to help my kids, I understood that I was actually hurting them by continuing to help them as much as I was. And lo and behold, as much as I would say, you know what, I don't know that I want to help with that or give you that or whatever. They grew wings. Shoot, my kids are doing great. My kids are doing amazing. But you have to believe that people are capable. And so if you get yourself stuck, in a position where you're like, I feel like it's stressing me out to keep doing this for somebody. I don't know who I'm talking to, but this is how it always happens. Somebody is in some situation or a dilemma and it doesn't feel good, but you feel bad because you still want to help, but it's just really stressing you out. You got to remember that you're not here to be the world's problem solver as much as you're here to be the light in the world. So there's going to be times where you are going to be involved in things that you're no longer going to be asked or needed to be involved in anymore. And so don't feel guilty for saying no. Don't feel bad for setting boundaries, because if you're not good with yourself, if you've got a lot of smut running around in your mind and it's stressing you out, how do you expect to have a positive life if you're on a negative vibration? And we talked about that when we talked about stress, right? Stress, that secret disease maker that's inside your body, and if you run your body at stress at 100 miles per hour all the time, it's gonna break some things down inside. And that's the same thing with people putting things on your plate, or you just taking the scraps, or you throwing yourself in the sink for later or whatever. Put yourself first. You're worth it. And I don't mean that in a selfish way, but you are only as good as you allow yourself to be. When you're flying in a plane and they want to go and they give you the instruction about if this plane goes down, and they give you this, cute little thing, and they're doing all their things. The first thing they tell you is, in the event you need oxygen, who do you put it on first? Who do you put the oxygen on first? Yourself. Why? Why wouldn't you put it on little Johnny or little Kim or little whatever you got sitting next to your child? Or why wouldn't you put it on them? Because you can't help them until you help yourself. Manage your plate. You're worth it. All right. God bless you guys. And I hope that you have a fabulous evening. And don't forget to brush your teeth before you put your mask on, because it might stink in there. And just want to tell you that I love being here. And Friday is my last every day at 6. But I will continue to be on at least a couple times per week, because I have some exciting things coming up for you. I have a big collaboration on Valentine's weekend for you guys. And so I will have a guest speaker, and that's going to be really exciting. So God bless you. Make sure that you tell yourself at least 2 times a day. Come on, who's going to give it to me? Come on, tell me what am I going to tell you to tell yourself. Come on, participate. Come on. All right, well, I'll say it. Make sure you tell yourself at least 2 times a day. I can. Yes, you can. I will. Yes, you will. And I am so worth it. You better believe it. Thank you. God bless you. And I will see you tomorrow at 6. Tea time with the lady.